the when, the how, the who about asking referrals. Who asks for referrals and when on my team? Now, if you don't have a team and you're a solo loan officer, who cares? That's totally okay. Adopt this and figure out where and when you want to ask for referrals. This all started in 2019. I hit the pinnacle of mortgage, did over $100 million in one calendar year. I just felt like I had more in the tank, and I felt like I had more horsepower, and I felt like we can do more as a team. So I go to Todd Duncan's boot camp. I think he calls it an academy these days. And he's talking about the circle of cash flow. I'm ADHD, I'm dyslexic, and I have dysgraphia. So sometimes someone could be like speaking English to me and it just gets rumbled in my head and I don't understand it. So I'm like, man, you've been talking about the circle of cash flow for 10 years. What if I rebuilt what you're saying in a way that I can digest it? So for me, what helped me digest it, it was too complicated for me. I needed to dumb it down in a way that I dumbed it down for me at least, and in a way that me understanding a 6-lane highway, you can have more toll booth collections than if it was a 1-lane highway. So in 2019, I built this model, which will be a free tool for you to download and also come in and out of the screen on this, but you'll have it downloaded. It's the whole entire business plan and model and the organizational chart of how I was able to go from $100 million in 2019 to the following year over $200 million and beyond there. So the point I'm trying to make of this is, how am I able to go from 100 million to 200 million so quickly? I added more horsepower, I added more lanes. It all started by coming back from a seminar, mapping this out, sitting down with my team. And if you've closed $100 million, you know how much effort it takes as a team to close $100 million in one calendar year. I mean, everything's busting at the seams. When I sat down with my team, I got a really bad feeling of the aura in the room. Everyone is working their tail off. And here I am talking about, hey guys, we can go from 100 million to $200 million, and here's the plan to do it. And it got to a point where they were super frustrated with me that, Wally, we're busting our tail off. You're always on vacation. And you keep going to these seminars, you get these big ideas, and you come back and you ask us to implement it. It's just like we're working too hard to think that we're going to double our business. So I said, if I can show you a way that you'll work less difficult, not less hard, less difficult, and you'll be able to close more and make more money, would you be open and listening about it? As you see this presentation, I broke down 3 different categories. The first category was what a loan officer and loan officer assistant does. Second category is what our transaction coordinator does. And the third category is the client concierge team that I built, and them doing a 7-day call, a 30-day call, a 6-month call, and setting up your annual mortgage review, then the mortgage efficiency checkup afterwards. What value were we going to bring after closing that makes the experience so much greater and get more referrals? So when I sat down with my team, I went through what we went through together as a team. What is the highest emotional positive situations throughout the whole entire process for a loan officer? And we went through it, and there was roughly around 9 average high emotional parts from the beginning to end of the loan process and even after close. And after I went through it, I said, guys and girls, hey, if we ask for referrals from clients that we have in a process at those 9 points, so each category, I mean the loan officer assistant and loan officer, transaction coordinator, and the client concierge were only responsible for doing 3 referrals that they asked for each. Back then, we're only doing 300 some odd loans a year. So I said back then, if we asked for referrals those 9 separate times throughout the process, the 3 major categories of our model, that's 2,700 times that we asked for referrals over a 1-year span if you're closing about 300 closings. It's 2,700 opportunities that we ask for. Let's just say we're the worst team in history and we only get back 25% of those referrals that we asked for. So that's 675 additional referrals that we get. Let's just keep on the path of the worst team in history. 675 referrals that we get back. Let's say we only convert 25% of those referrals. Well, 675 referrals times 25% times our average loan amount, that's another $50 million in loans, or another 168 closings that we get that we're just leaving on the table because we're not asking for referrals from clients in process. Then I went through how to build a wealth team and doing the 5th page of the 1003. Now I went through about asking referrals and building the client concierge team and breaking that down. That was additional $81 million a year in loans, another 270 loans. And you can see all this in the screen, the way everything's downloaded, and you can download the whole entire business plan if you like. Then we went through, okay, if we're gonna have our team of all realtors, but to say it's only 60 million, and our database is only 36 million that we close. That was 227 million. We missed the mark and did 201 million the following year. We went from 100 million to 201 million. We built a business plan that's 227 million. I wasn't too upset. They weren't too upset. Everybody was still happy. Everybody's really proud of themselves. So what I want you to understand is, if you can have a vision and you can look through the lenses of I do it, we do it, they do it, and you've built the 3 leverages that we talked about, the human leverage, technology leverage, and systems leverage, those 3 components are so ridiculously strong when you can have the right vision, and then you get buy-in from your team or you yourself as a loan officer, that you can double from $100 million a year loans to $200 million a year loans by building the 6-lane highway. So how to ask for referrals is next, and I'll show you how to ask for referrals. See you then.